It's going to be unfiltered content. So if you do not want to hear certain things, that's all right. That's all right. But it's going to be raw. Welcome everyone to our podcast. We are amounting in our 30s. Correct? Correct. Okay. Correct. Yes. Okay. I'm Kairos.
Katrina.
Chelsea.
Simone. Taylor.
And we're here to bring you all the content of how we're surviving our 30s. So today we're going to start with friendships. Something that we all know a thing or two about. So we're going to talk about how we identify friendships, how we consider friendships to be long lasting, and how we can look at somebody and maybe we know that that's just not going to last very long. Right? Right? Okay. So for starters, I think we have to categorize friendships in a couple different ways. So we're going to talk about a tree. This is the stages of a friendship. You can have a friend that is a leaf, a friend that's a branch, and a friend that's a root. So your leaves are your friends that are seasonally here. That means they may be here today, gone tomorrow. When it comes to real challenges, they're not going to be there for you. They might be here because they might be your turn up friend, and that's all they're good for. You might have a branch friend where they've been around for some time, but you're not really growing together. It's almost like they're there, but come a real bad storm, they gonna get cut off. They're gonna drop. They're not gonna be there for you. And then you have your roots. And I would consider all these people here on this couch with me are roots. These are people that are there for you in your darkest hour and your most troubling time. You can call them at 3 a.m. and they'll answer. They might be mad. They will be mad, but they'll be there for you. So I'm going to pass the mic to my sister and I want her to say something about friendship because her best friend's here. So.
Oh, God. Okay. So when it comes down to friendship, like, yes, the one on the end is my best friend, Chelsea. We've been best friends for over, almost 30 years. Which is crazy, but literally 30 years, okay? With the trampoline in the backyard. Okay. Honestly, I would say what a friendship is same thing. It's somebody who really is honestly a piece of you. I think a lot of times people think like, oh, it's my best friend and that's it. But people don't understand like it is a piece of your soul. Because of the fact if that person was gone tomorrow, like I would honestly be hurt. I couldn't see life. Would I be able to function? All of that. So that's honestly how I look at friendship is if it's that deep, then that's your person and they're made to be there for the rest of your life. Not a season, but for the rest of your life.
That's right. I agree. I think my friendship, so my best friends are here. I have Simone and Katrina. Obviously came to me in different stages of my life. Simone is more like probably like closest to my relationship. Like we're not in a relationship, but we're in a relationship. Yeah, because we live together. Now, I know some best friends can't do that, but we live together. She's been my rock for 20 plus years now. And yeah, when I know that I need a voice of reason or someone to give it to me real, she's going to be that person. I know that Trine will do the same thing. So I think that since we've entered our 30s, that the friendships have changed a little bit in the sense of just us growing with ourselves and growing together in the friendship. But we can be at different stages where she may be growing for herself, but if I'm not on that same wave, I don't, it just may not work for her. And we respect that. But I think that we've had our challenges and we've found the solution that has made us be as close as we are, even though we get on each other's nerves. But I think that it works for us. And mind you, we are night and day, literally night and day. She's day, I'm night in all aspects. She works during the day, I work at night. She likes a certain type of music. I don't like that music. 1 second, the pizza's here. We just had to take a minor food break. Sorry. That's right. All right, Trine. Here you go, boo.
Yeah. Let me tell you about the stems and the trees and the leaves and the and the breeze. So, what I gotta say about friendship is I've always been a person that I value a tight, small, close knit bunch of gals and some hymns in there too.
Not too many though.
Right, a little sprinkle, okay, just a little topping, and then you lick them and then they yell. Pause. Just kidding. Take that part out. My mama gonna watch this.
Nope, it's already in there.
It's wrong. What I was saying was, mic check. Yeah, I've always been a person of just, I think so. Okay. Tight, close knit friends versus needing to be around a bunch of folks. Quantity and definitely quality over quantity any day. And I feel like, as Kairos was saying, like as you get older, your friendships and relationships they evolved. And I'm just grateful for the people I got in my corner because they already know I ain't talking to you every day, and that's just it. Yeah. But when we pop into each other's lives, it's just 100% authentic, 24/7, and I'll be there for them whenever they need me. They'll be there for me as well. Especially, I became a mother, and my friends, they never skip a beat. They've always been there for me, continuously. So I think it's just worth having a small group of people around you, people that you can count on no matter what. So quantity over quality. I lied. Quality over quantity.
The world knew what you meant.
Quality over quantity. So yeah, I'm gonna pass the phone to my girl on my right. She got something to say about the friendships.
So I'm gonna piggyback off what Trina had to say. So I really feel like I love at this age, because we're talking about our 30s. At this point, I love a low maintenance friendship. I can't do it no more. Back then, I feel like I could, and I feel like at this age, I still have a lot of friends. But I like, cause she said, like, when it's time for me to pop out with my friends, I'm gonna be their birthdays. Want to grab a drink every blue moon, a dinner every blue moon? That's fine. But just sometimes it can be overwhelmed with your life, and you're just trying to navigate. Just do you. So it's kind of like you cannot always show up 24/7 for someone because you're trying to be there for yourself. So I really appreciate low maintenance friendships so much at this point. Like I said, it was a little bit harder to maintain it when you get older because people are like, oh, you being weird and being funny. Like, no. I'm not. I just need moments to myself at this point. I'm an adult. You got shit going on. Oh, wait a minute.
That's all right. It's raw and
We got
unfiltered.
stuff going on, and I got stuff going on. So I love a low maintenance friendship. So I can really appreciate that. That's all I got to say.
I respect that. We're going to pass the phone over to the one that we all want to know what they got to say.
So, I'm going to take this in a completely different direction when it comes to friendships, because although I agree with everybody said on this couch, I agree with the low maintenance friendships. I agree with the showing up, showing out, being a leaf, branch, or a root. And pocketing is my word. Pocketing friendships, knowing what your friendship is or lack of, acquaintances, and everybody is not your friend. And so I've had to educate on that plenty of times, because I agree with Trine. My friendships are very close knit. I have a very tight circle. And if you're in that circle, you probably know anything and everything about me. But when you dig deeper, I challenge people to understand a friendship in regards to like stronger friends. And I'm considered the strong friend in my friend group. I seem like I always got it together, 50 things going on. You would never know. And it takes very little for me to like stress out. Like people don't get underneath my skin very often. So when they do, for whatever reason, it like really starts to show. And so with that being said, going back to the strong friend, as people tend not to check on us. And so in return, when it becomes a more friendship circle, they tend to be forgotten on that type of level. And so it's oftentimes just like a check-in or, hey, how are you doing? I'll speak for myself. I don't really elaborate a whole lot. And or if I do have a lot going on, you have to catch me at the right time to like elaborate. Otherwise, I deal with it and then I move on. I don't harbor. So in return, that has then filtered into my friendships with what I work on. to give them what they need, but also to like, two-way street on what that friendship needs in order to communicate. But it also goes back to like acknowledging where a person's at, meeting them where they are. And eventually it gets to the point where I'm not going to ask too much of you, because if I no longer receive it, I am not going to give it. And I'm not going to remind you 50 different ways either. So I will not repeat myself, especially this time as I'm 31 years old. We're too old for that. And if you cannot receive and or give and it be reciprocated, I move on. And my friendships are starting to do that as well.
That was beautiful. Thank you, Queen.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So I'm gonna actually, I have something to ask on that point. Now you kind of made me think. How do you guys handle friendship? Your conflicts in friendships, like when there's a conflict, and I'm not speaking about you and your girl shooting the shit talking about somebody else. I'm talking about when there's a conflict between you and your friends. Like, how do y'all handle that? Oh, you want to speak first?
I'll go.
Beautiful. Do tell.
So I'm actually, I guess everybody on this couch can say, I'm not a confrontational person. I have a demeanor that some people say about me, but I'm not a confrontational person. I probably would not describe myself as confrontational. Everybody agree?
Agree.
Yeah. So when I have a conversation or a disagreement, not even a disagreement, if we're just talking and we're agreeing, not agreeing, and or challenging whatever we're talking about, I handle conversation just by talking to someone. I don't raise my voice. I don't yell. But when I feel like I'm not being heard, I could probably hit a hard way, because oftentimes I'm heard, but I'm not heard. And I think that's difficult in what I'm saying. I think people hear what I'm saying, but they don't, it's not really seen or understood. It's just more of like, it's a passive conversation. So how do I communicate? I'm communicating. I'll bring what bothers me. I'll bring it to the table. But one thing I'm working on is I like to talk about it now. And if we don't talk about it now, don't bring it up 2 to 3 days later. So, and then like ravish in this is bothering you, because that actually upsets me, and more I start to get in my feelings, because it's like, so I communicate on talk about it now, but do not disrespect me, because once you start stepping over my disrespect line, then I get disrespectful.
Unfiltered.
Unfiltered.
Honestly, I think really in all of my friendships that I have right now in my 30s, we've never been in any big conflict where we had like a big disagreement. I would say that we might have had like a misunderstanding. I think my only one was with Chelsea a couple years ago, but it wasn't based on us. It was what my wife communicated, which didn't need to be communicated. But either which way, that caused like a little bit of a misunderstanding, but we came right back within a few hours. Outside of that, I would say the friendships that did have conflicts were no longer friends. It wasn't a conversation that was spoken about. It was more so they said this, and I would say, "Oh, like that's not how I meant it," and then I feel like they would act weird, or you would be funny. You might do subliminals, and after that, then I just stepped away, and I was like, "Okay." And then I feel like most of the time people come back, and it's like that guilty conscience, like, "Hey, like, how's this?" or "I'm doing this," and it's like, "Okay, girl." And then that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they really don't circle back.
I 100% respect that. Mm-hmm. I can't say that I do that for myself, but I mean, so everyone knows, like, Simone has been my best friend for 20 plus years. And not to like put all of our business out there, we've had our challenges as you have with your friends of 20 plus years. But one thing that I have learned over the years is as we've gotten older, we have kind of approached the conflict within our relationship differently. And I think I'll speak on my behalf. Like for me, it's kind of navigating how I'm dealing with my emotions. I realize she's a person that likes to talk about things right now. And for me, sometimes I can't do that, because if I feel like someone is coming at me in a way I feel I have to give a defense, then all of that other shit goes out the way. So I'm on defense mode now, as opposed to trying to be calm and respectful and have a civilized conversation. So that has happened before. We have had the discussion about that, and I never want to disrespect. But then when I feel like it's like, why are you coming at me? And then it's like I feel like I gotta be on defense mode. So what I've tried to do is now, like, I'm growing, we're learning, we're evolving, we're thriving. With us, like, she wants to speak about it now. Okay, so now I have to kind of just take my 10 seconds. I want to listen to what she has to say, absorb it, digest it. Okay, what is she saying? Is she coming at me? Is she just saying that she wants to address something? So I'm trying to listen to receive as opposed to listening to respond. And a lot of the times it was always listening to respond. And so now listening to receive has been a whole lot better for us. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Was that correct? Hold it. I need you to be honest. Is that correct? Do you feel like it's better or no?
It's getting better.
Okay.
So it needs some more work. You need some more work.
Okay, Chelsea has entered the boxing ring.
You know what?
Okay, I didn't.
Spin it over, best friend.
Oh, okay. I said it was a work in progress. Okay, we're amounting in our 30s. Okay,
Right.
So we're trying
Okay. Yeah, I just feel like
very hard.
So I feel like, do you take accountability well?
You mean in the sense, yeah, actually I do, because if I know that I've done something wrong, even if she says like, oh, you've upset me, this is how I feel about it, I do listen. Now, sometimes I will be honest, sometimes when I've apologized, I'm apologizing for her,
Not for you.
not for me,
Okay.
because I feel like
That's when you say how you need to wait to
Right,
come back to
right,
your
right, right.
feelings later.
right, because I feel like I wasn't wrong about that, but then I realized how selfish that was because I wasn't taking her feelings into consideration. So I was apologizing, but it was like, but I don't understand what I'm apologizing for.
Did she explain what the reason was or no?
She explains the reason, but for some reason, I just couldn't see it from her point of view. And that's kind of been sometimes an issue when we do address things between
Mhm.
us. It's like she says it, from her point of view, I say it from my point of view, and we miss each other.
Okay.
And
But
so-
sometimes you don't always have to agree. I
Right.
realize that even like in relationships, like as long as you hear what I'm saying and you respect what I'm saying, that's the only thing I want. We don't have
Right.
to agree on it. You can feel some type of way about how you feel, and I'm gonna feel some type of way how I feel. But I just need for us to both come together and understand.
And
So
you're
you can
right.
still feel some type of way about it and not think I didn't do nothing wrong, but you know what? I shouldn't have did that because you feel some type of way, and I want to be the bigger person to apologize about the situation because maybe I don't see it in your eyesight.
Right.
So
No. And you're right. And we actually, recently, a couple months ago, we had she addressed something with me. We were talking, and the conversation was actually, handled pretty well, but it was like, unfortunately, we didn't see it from each other's point of view,
right.
and we were able to agree to disagree, but it was just how it was handled was a lot better than what we've had in the past.
Okay.
And like I said, like, I'm okay. I don't have a problem with apologizing, but I really want to apologize to you because I know I've upset you and I want to acknowledge your feelings, but I don't want to sit here and just say I'm sorry just to say it.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Do you really understand and take the time to be like, you know what? She never did this to me, so this is why she probably feels some type of way because I never did it to her. So I kind of sometimes you might have to look at it in like another person's eyes versus like, you're not really at this moment understanding why she's mad, but you might have to look at like, have I ever did anything like this to her?
Sure.
So then it might kind of make you think like, okay, I see why she might be mad a little bit, but
Yeah.
so
definitely like she said, it has been a work in progress because she's a person that does want to speak about it now, and she's also a person that wants to speak to you in person. It's not a texting or phone call where things can be misconstrued, taken out of context.
right.
So it's like, it's very much, I want to see you. I want to understand how are you receiving this? How I am trying to explain it to you. And so, that's just been an uphill battle. And I'll say more or less for me, just because I am an emotional person. And so like, I do get in my head about things. So sometimes like how someone addresses me with something, it's more than just what you're saying. It's like,
it's how you say
how
it.
you're saying it. What are you coming at me with? How long has it been? It's
a lot.
a little bit more than just you pissed me off today. You
Right.
know what I mean? So I'm learning. I'm working on that. I really I always try to acknowledge where she is in the moment because, like Simone says, when she wants to talk about something, she wants to talk about it now.
And I understand though, because I don't want you to, because now you've been hiding something or sitting on this issue and it's 3 days later and we're having a great day and now all of a sudden you want to talk about something that happened last week. I'm not doing that. I need you to, right? We got time and opportunity to talk about it right now. I'm coming to you as a person because I love you. So why are we talking about something that happened 3 days ago? This is a new day. We need to leave it behind us. So I understand, because that's how I am. So like, don't tell me no shit 3 days later why you was mad at me about X, Y, Z. I don't give a damn about what you're talking about at this point. Because when I want to talk to you about it, we should have been addressed it. But now you want to talk about it like it's over with. I'm good on you.
Sure. Now or never.
And I get it.
Now or never. And I think something else with relationships, like being self-aware of the part that you play in a friendship relationship, since that's what we're talking about. And I'm going to just use y'all as an example, because that's what we have just been talking about. When you're coming to have one of those sort of conversations, you automatically have to assume the intent of the other person. And I learned this at work. You have to assume the intent of the other person is, of their heart. So, I mean, Simone, Kairos, like y'all are best friends. And I'm going to assume that the intent already isn't of malice. They're coming out of a place of genuine love and care for the other person. So if you're going into a conversation recognizing like whatever this person has to say, whatever the topic is, I'm gonna just go ahead and assume that the intent is genuine, is out of love, and it's to make me be a better person and our relationship can grow. So that's one thing that I've been having to tell myself when you are coming into a conversation, whether it's a friendship conversation where you're trying to grow through some sort of conflict, or a work relationship and you're trying to address somebody for saying something wrong to a patient or whatever, assuming that the intent is pure and genuine, and not trying to put yourself in that mindset of whatever this person about to say about to piss me off, like I'm already on the defense straight away. Yeah, sure. I feel like you can get through those sorts of conversations in a more like adult manner where it doesn't go south.
I think I've said that.
You did.
You did. Speak about it, sis. Speak about it. What you gotta say?
Thank you, Trine.
You're welcome.
What you gotta say?
Assume intent.
No, I'm just dittoing Trine, because I have had that conversation about I am not a malice person. Yeah. I can hit hard. Don't get me wrong. You can hit below the belt, but it takes a lot for me to get there. So once you have pushed me, all right, now I probably will snap. Exactly. But I have made that comment, like everything I say is not malice. Everything isn't trying to come at you. I know everything is perception or how that person received it. I acknowledge that. But sometimes everything isn't always meant to be ill intent. It's just somebody trying to look out for you, and or, hey, watch out. Hey, like, look, and it may not have anything to do with me and you. Like, it's just more of like, hey, did you see that person in the grocery store? Kairos, watch your back. Like, it's like something like that. Like, it's really just looking out for you. Yeah. So I just ditto off of Trine, because I have literally said that a few times to Kairos, like, everything is not meant to be like coming at you. Like, that is not my personality. Right. But when I do it, anybody who knows me, I have a very good heart. So when you hit me deep and you piss me off, yes. Does it seem that way? No, but it's still coming from a good place.
Yeah. And I respect that. I'm sorry. I respect that. And honestly, like Chelsea said, as we've entered the 30s, I mean, and we've been rocking for a long time, so it's been an ongoing process, but it was one of those things where there was a moment where I felt like, and this is going to be very raw and unfiltered, but there have been times where I felt like Simone and I's relationship was going to dissolve at some point. And because it's not even due to our differences. It's just sometimes, like, when it comes to tackling conflict, it's not always handled in the way that we both want it to be. And I will, I take my own responsibility and accountability for my role in that. So that's why I'm like, okay, something's got to give, because like Trine said, like, I know her, she knows me, but it's all in like how I'm receiving what she's saying. But I feel like in the moments that she wants to address something, I really do, like, I have been trying to just take a second. I understand this is not coming from a bad place. Okay. Just literally sitting there, like, hearing her out, listening to receive, because I'm like, okay, what happened? What are we discussing? How are you feeling? What did I do to upset you or whatever? So it has been a process. It's been a growth journey. But that's been recently. We've had our challenges, of course, and it's over. Men. Yeah, we ain't gonna get into that. That'll be another one. But
that'll be another topic.
But we're gonna segue to something else. I actually want to ask you guys, like, how do you handle conflict with, maybe these are your branch friends, right? they're coming to you, and they're coming to you from left field. Like it's not even on some, hey girl, can I sit down and I just want to address something with you? Like, excuse me, do you know what the hell you doing? You know what I'm saying? So how do y'all handle that? If somebody's coming at you sideways and it's on a Monday, it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and you're like, wow, I didn't have my coffee yet.
Honestly, give me a quick definition of a branch friend again. I just want to make sure I want to make sure I'm correct.
So, like, your branch friends are
Mhm.
are your friends, right? But they're not there for you in like the deep depths. Like, they're not a Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when
that's what we know about it.
Mm.
But go ahead.
but there could be no, seriously, they could be you. I know you have some of these friends where they may not be there for you in the times that you need them to, and the times you really need them to, and you're like, you know what? Unfortunately, I want an opinion other than yours. No offense, but those are, you know, maybe those type.
I mean, honestly, I feel like the friends who are those branch friends. So I feel like honestly, I can speak on one that now looking back, I feel like I think we both considered each other to be best friends just because of the longevity and our parents knew each other. But when I really analyzed the situation, I feel like a lot of the times I was the one who was putting in more work. It just seemed like it was a coming across both ways. And I do feel like,
That's
you
your
know,
branch.
on the fact of one of my most important days when I got married, that considered best friend, which is really a branch friend, maybe even a leaf friend, did not show up on one of the most important days of my life. She waited 2 weeks before I was getting married. And actually, she didn't wait. Chelsea checked in with me and was like, hey, I haven't heard from this person. Do you want to check in? And I was like, okay, yeah. Just for her to respond
You
back.
know who you are.
Yeah, I haven't bought any of my stuff. Unfortunately, I had to move. I got a new job, blah, blah, blah. And it was the thing of, I'm not mad at that. Like, I'm happy for you in that. But it's the fact that you didn't communicate that we are 2 weeks from my wedding and you didn't buy your dress, your shoes, no nothing, and you didn't say anything. So had I not reached out to you, we were just gonna be there the day of, and what exactly happened. So when I really analyze situations now, I feel like a lot of my friends were branch friends. Two best friends from high school that I had known were branch friends because of the fact when, again, the wedding, not being understanding and really just seeing it as, oh, you're being fake. That's not what you said to us 2 years ago. But keyword 2 years ago, sis, we haven't talked. So why would you be there for the most important day of my life? So in those moments, I really just had to realize like everybody's not going to be accountable. They're not going to take the accountability to confront themselves, and that's okay. You were here for a long season. That's cool. We have the memories. We went through what we did, and we grow older. And some people get left behind, and that's okay. I look at it as you didn't leave my life. That was just God pulling that person on the front end, and you couldn't see it.
Okay, that was good. I like that a whole lot.
Yeah, and I can say for me, mine's probably a little less intellectual. But if you in a route, you can go.
and that part on that.
Look,
Yes, to the point.
I feel like I'm such a self-aware person. I know what I can bring to the table in any sort of relationship, and so if that branch ain't strictly connected to that tree trunk and diving deep into them roots, then I already know. If you're coming after me for whatever reason, again, assuming intent and knowing my heart, I'm not the problem.
Amen. 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 Yeah, that's right. That's right. I already know where Chelsea going. She said, "I'm not having it."
You got something to say, sis?
Not really, but listen, ain't too much talking.
Anyway,
Okay, because it's not a lot. It's really not a lot. It's simple because I don't know. I feel like at this big age, you know, and you don't know. So it's no like, oh, I thought, or oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't show up for you. It's all because everyone has shit going on in their life. So I'm kind of like, for you just to not really see why I feel some type of way, or you think you can pop in, pop out, and it's cool. I'm not mad. I'm gonna leave you where you at. And I'll move on. It's, baby, the less people for me, the better. So I ain't got to stress about it for real. Like, I ain't got to worry about all that. You got to go where you at anyway.
That's less of an invite to the wedding. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. That's it. You done. You cut. I'm not even thinking about like, oh, well, let me try to save it. No, baby. We good where we at. You good? You was here for a reason. And that's it. I'm okay with that. Like, I'm not pressed. It's a billion people out here in this world. We was never friends before. Remember that. So.
Remember that. That's
Yeah, and
right. That's right.
I would say too, people come in and out of your life for a reason. It could be a season, and maybe they are more of leaves than the branches. These analogies are killing me. I'm not
No,
gonna lie to
crazy.
you.
Y'all
I
know
saw
what?
it. I
She was right. The branches,
She said
all that.
stems and limbs.
Stems and limbs.
That's what you get. Stems and limbs.
Baby, if you a stem, you ain't good enough. If you weak, so
No,
Irrelevant.
we're not going to discuss leaves because I mean at the end of the day we know that they're here today, gone tomorrow. So there's
If
no
you
need
got
for
leaves
them.
in your life at 31, 32, 33,
But I
whatever.
feel like, but hold on. I
Who
feel
are
like,
leaves?
I feel like
person at the coffee shop.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's the barista you talk to every day
I
getting coffee.
At the coffee shop. Hey, how you doing? Goodbye. That is a leaf to me.
Yeah.
that's
You
not
acknowledge
that's an
your-
acquaintance.
That's a
I
leaf.
feel like a
But
leaf.
that's a leaf.
No, I
that's
feel
not
like
even a coincidence. I don't even know your by your first name.
That's
So
right. So
I would
think
say
that-
like more of a leaf, or maybe be like someone that I might work with. Cause think about
Thank
it.
you. I was getting to that.
Like we can.
have really deep friendships.
Hell no.
I didn't
baby,
say
I
that
will walk
every
right past you.
work
I'm here
friendship
to
is a
work.
leaf.
I'm clocking in, clocking. I don't have to speak to you.
Right.
Hey, how you doing?
But what happens if
Turn
I
my
do,
corner.
and then we do connect?
Turn the corner. Don't know you no more. Who are you? Who are you, baby? No man.
I also have work
So
friends.
that's like it's a leaf. That's a leaf.
She ain't got work friends.
Wait. Okay. No, for real. I do think we should talk about this for a second. You make a strong point. You may continue consider the barista a leave. Okay, but I'm gonna speak to Chelsea's point because I'm a travel nurse, so I've traveled to a couple different places, right? So that's temporary. Those people that I've worked with, I would consider a leaf. But here's the thing: not everybody.
I feel like that's a branch.
No, it's a leaf. It's a leaf. Because
Kyris,
it was-
your leaves be branches.
I'm talking.
I just want to throw that in there.
It could,
But I also feel like too, because see where Kyris went with this, right?
This is not shit on Kyris today. All
It's
right,
not, it's not.
we know
But I
about
just
to
want I
do
want to
that.
bring it back because at the end of the day, like we're close, so we know. I do feel like because you were about to go into like I'm a travel nurse, so like the people I meet are leads, like we were cool, and then when I moved, correct, and that is not the case with you. I feel like there has been times when you have moved and you've still been connected to those people or tried to make friendships out of them. Remember, okay, 3 months ago, why we keep letting all these
Okay.
strays in?
I know we're
Where
not.
did they come
we're-
from,
right.
Moni?
No, I get that.
Some of them are still here sending text
No, I
messages.
get that, and I respect that 100%. No, I do. But there are those. I do have friends that I've come in contact with from my travel assignments that are leaves. There are people I've met in Houston that I've left in Houston. There are people that I have met in Nashville, even though you may have met one, whatever. That I have left in Nashville though.
That one was enough.
I left them. Are
Did you
gonna
really leave
harmonize with me?
them?
They texted you.
Oh, that is so funny. So we leave them as a leave.
Did
But
they
I get
really?
it, so, like I said, I understand the leaf and the understanding of why Simone feels like someone at a random baby. I don't know you, so I'm not calling you a leaf. You ain't even associate. You a random. You is a random on the block, baby. Hey, what's up? Keep
You're a
moving.
pebble on
But
the
the-
sidewalk.
What is that? The wind?
Yes,
They're the
you
wind.
is a wind. You might be the
are.
rain, baby. You could be
Or
the
the
rain.
wind.
So, but no,
At
so
least-
I
at least
kinda
a
agree with
pebble.
Kyra's there. There might be
The
leeches
soil,
low key.
somebody.
The leeches.
not a leaf.
They might be leeches, baby. So I don't know, Kyra. They might be leeches.
Just know that I love these women because they are gonna
It's
be
getting-
they are
it's
gonna be
giving
honest.
caterpillar.
They are gonna have my back. But like I said, like I have said this entire time, like I have a lot more growing to do as I've entered my 30s. There's a lot of things that I'm still trying to learn for myself, and I'm still growing. So please don't dig into my ass.
I did it. Oh, no.
Okay.
I did it. So I myself as well have also put people that were leaves into branches.
We're not calling them leeches.
Okay. No, and I'm not gonna lie. So I do feel like a couple of my leaves, and most of my leaves were really from work that I put into branch roles. Now, I do feel like in some type of way, like a couple of those friendships, I do believe were real because I do feel like people were there for me. We were loyal. Like we would kick it, this, that, and the third. I will say sometimes I do but I think it's also my personality to be trusting, because I do feel like I'm so nice. I always see the good in everybody, so I don't come with like the defensive shield of like, it could be some shit with you, so let's really see where we get to. I'm just automatically like, hi, I'm Taylor, da da da, and we continue on that way. So I do believe some people get close, and granted, when shit goes wrong and they do become a leaf and that shit crackled, whatever, like, it is a learning moment. That shit hurts because I'm like, damn, I really didn't expect you to do that. But at the same time, it's also a lesson. And now I know, like, going into other situations, I won't be that open. Like, you can stay where you are. It's cool. We can have a good time. We can talk this, that, and the third. And that's it.
Just know that everybody on this couch are roots. Okay, they're roots. I am grateful and appreciative for all of these beautiful women in my life. All right, and then now we're going to the next segment. We are now going to be talking about something else.
Anything but this.